She got so low that she was almost happy that the cancer had taken over. So I would say once again that there's this battle you're fighting. Who is winning this war? Is it the mental illness, or is it unfortunately the physical limitations that could be like metaphorically cancer? It's like, it's no different. I mean, it just is such a sad struggle to be fighting a battle with your mind. But I just feel like I can't express it, and so being with the situation at hand, I really feel like it's a very good example of what it means to take care of some of the things you might know that's going on physically. Sometimes with your mind too. It's just as much part of your body as the lungs and the legs you walk with. And so I feel like it's very important to touch on this subject very deeply too, because of the fact there's so many people who just don't even know where to put those emotions. It's the camera that couldn't stop. Hello, YouTube. So hopefully you can see me well. Hopefully I'm in frame. What I am going to do is pack a bowl with everybody out there. It's been an interesting turn of events in the last couple of days, amongst Rob Williams passing away and a bunch of other things going on in my own personal life. So it has been a little bit difficult to make a vlog where I felt like, hey, this is what I need to talk about. So I did an entire vlog yesterday and the day before. Consecutively, I've been continuing to make vlogs, updating you guys with the same fucking shit. So this vlog right here today is the 12th, is actually the vlog that is the most current. So I'm going to add as much as I can from the other 2 days, but I hope you enjoy this vlog. I hope you do. And I now have a little setup Houdini thingy. Anyway, set up mirror that now I can see pretty much anywhere in my house. Luckily, this lovely video, which helps me quite a bit, because obviously I want to communicate with you guys. Sorry, motorcycle. And if I can't do vlogs and I have to depend on the tablet, which has been my nightmare since day one, it does make vlogging very difficult. Today, I actually have a pain patch on my freaking back. It's a lidocaine pain patch. It's like 5% lidocaine, and it actually has been relieving some of the pain in my shoulder, but I will say I have been continuing to smoke today, which I'm going to do right now. So luckily you're not too far away. Hopefully you don't see everything. I'm sure you do, but hopefully you don't see everything. And a bad detail. It is what it is. I'm not wearing makeup. I want to, but I'm not going to. That's the way it's going to be. I hope you guys enjoyed my in-depth, deep anti-suicide and respect depression. It's just as serious as cancer. Any mental illnesses, truthfully. Any illnesses, truthfully. And I think that's the biggest thing, is we need to be more open about it and speak more open about it. A lot of things planned. A lot of things are going in order. Thankfully, too, the universe not being a complete asshole. It's the best way I can say. The universe doesn't hate me. So my vlogs are always raw and real. Hope you guys enjoy the content as is, and it will continue to be more interesting on this channel. Wow. A lot's been going on. Doctor-wise, a lot's been up and down. Test-wise, a lot has been determined, a lot has been undetermined. And thus, I've been trying really hard to keep you guys updated, but it's like, how do you do that when pretty much every single vlog I feel like I do things in a scatterbrained way, and that's just the way I talk. So it's my own issues with vlogging that I have these things about going in public with the camera, or, you know, whatever the fuck it might be. That's my own anxiety, and I'm trying to share everything with you guys that's real, but sometimes it's kind of embarrassing that I wish I wasn't so difficult. I wish it wasn't so strenuous for me to do the normal things that shouldn't be so difficult, like just saying how the hell is my day going. But when it's going so shitty, it's like, how can you be positive? How can you have a good outlook on life when most things are shitty? And I think that's why I wanted to bring that point up, that we are people. We do have ups and downs as people, and you know, I hate to say it, but unfortunately, I mean, everybody deals with their own whatever the fuck it could be. And for that matter, everybody has their own ups and downs, whatever that could be. We can have one retrospect with people, which might be a career factor, meaning like the situation with Robin Williams. That was, you know, that's his persona. That's what he was known as, the funny man. At many a times with stress. The only way I got through my mother's death, and truthfully, I would say even more in-depthly, Katrina, was prioritize your stressors. What can you actually control in your life? And that is pretty much the only way I've been... They're yelling down the street. Anyway, so Long Beach. So the reality is, it's just kind of a mind fuck, because I was thinking... I lost my train of thought, thank you. Our next topic now. Next sad motherfucking topic now. Our local news did say something that really just touched me, and I wanted to share it with you guys. They had said that when they had found out Robin Williams had passed away, I think it might have been the last Laugh Factory or another comedy club, but it was in Los Angeles, had, I believe in Los Angeles, had put up, rest in peace, Robin Williams, and make God laugh. I truthfully think of that, like, there are so many good people in this universe that have left. And so many energies that, you know, we really are energy, are people who are still alive. You don't lose that memory. You don't lose it. It becomes part of you. And, you know, you can only learn from that person how beautiful their spirit might have been. And share that. And so I do have to say that having video and technology that we do today is such a beautiful thing, because, you know, we were able to capture how wonderful this amazing person was. It's just truly blown me away, though, how much, like, time and as much energy as you put into trying to heal someone, like I said, with the battle of cancer, sometimes you lose the fight, and that's the only way I can say it. Either he got too tired, unfortunately, and he lost the fight. I mean, it's just... his children, I mean, it's just... I just thought immediately of all the people that this has got to be something that's been a roller coaster. Them knowing that he dealt with so much sadness, so much searching for sanity. There's a quality of life that a person, when they're ill with breast cancer or ill with whatever cancer it might, whatever illness it may be, there's a point in everybody's life, whatever the, I don't know how to put this. I think most people have a point in their life where they say, what is it worth? And then they have other people that just can't understand that. How do I put it? Some people can't go on. Some people can't do it. It's just, they haven't released if he had any suicide note or any of that, but they did release in detail of how he passed away, how he killed himself. And it just eats me up. It's just so... he's such a beautiful spirit. I mean, why would you take yourself away? Yet at 63, I believe, years old, not wanting to continue on, not wanting to keep going. I mean, Jesus, it's just so heartbreaking, because it's like, couldn't we just hold him? Couldn't we just tell him we were right there for him? Yet the reality is there's no way to understand it completely unless you're in the mind of that person. And it's devastating to me, because I realize this is real. This is real life. This person decided to take the control of the wheel and drive the car into the right side of the road, metaphorically. It's just to cancel everything out and to just start over in the pretext of there's nothing more, it's final, I'm done. That's intense. And I know that personally I dealt with my mother attempting suicide more than once, yet pulling herself back from it. And the reason being was the children she had. There was something to live for. She got so low at the end, she was almost happy that the cancer had taken over. So I would say once again that there's this battle you're fighting of who is winning this war. Is it the mental illness, or is it unfortunately the physical limitations that could be like metaphorically cancer? It's like, it's no different. I mean, it just is such a sad struggle to be fighting a battle with your mind and ultimately losing, wanting to shut the body down that controls the mind. That's a real statement in its own. And so I suffer with anxiety every single day. It makes me scared when I drive. It makes me sometimes irritated in social situations. It makes me feel like I have priorities that are all clusterfuck on a regular basis. It controls my life in a big portion of it. Many people don't understand it, and since I was a little girl, I didn't understand myself until I was finally diagnosed with anxiety disorder. So I can say to you, all of you out there, the reason that I am on Lexapro right now is for some of the reasons that Robin Williams is in the position he's in now. I wanted to get before that. I wanted to make sure that didn't happen, where I thought the only way out of my own insanity was to make sure that I did the right things, that I knew that would take care of the way that I was thinking. Because physically I have not had any relief for a very long time. It's emotionally trying, it's physically exhausting. It gets to a point where the relationships in your life decline because your body is so rapidly not okay. And so I had to make a choice, and I asked my doctor to put me on an antidepressant, and that's part of the reason that in several of these videos I haven't been able to clearly say it, because I say it over and over, but I just feel like I can't express it. And so being with the situation at hand, I really feel like it's a very good example of what it means to take care of some of the things you might know that's going on physically. Sometimes with your mind too. It's just as much part of your body as the lungs and the legs you walk with. And so I feel like it's very important to touch on this subject very deeply too, because of the fact there's so many people who just don't even know where to put those emotions. I hate antidepressants. I hate them because I know they change my mind in a lot of different ways. I know that antidepressants also affect my body physically, my liver, my kidneys, my stomach, and obviously long term it's not fun to be on any medication. But over the coming months of basically since March, I've been completely overwhelmed by amounts of stress I just wish I could share with you guys, and I just can't. There's just so many privacy reasons I can't. But let's just say that they brought me to a place where mentally I was at the edge. And I'm very glad things are okay right now. Things are stable. They're going to be stable as far as I know. But because I live with anxiety, I wake up every day waiting for the next thing to fall. What's going to fall, what's going to not, and everybody can say out there that's life, but unless you deal with anxiety, there is no way to explain that. When you have a certain amount of energy, and anxiety is the icing on the cake, so all that life normalness, paying your bills, driving a car to get a drink, deciding if you're going to go into a public place to get food because you may not be feeling so well, so it's going to look that way. I'm not going to physically put makeup on in public unless I really know that I'm going to be judged or uncomfortable in a situation. The only doctor's office I've worn makeup to now has been the OBGYN because it's a female doctor, and I will say that that's my mind, that's my anxiety. Those things don't really matter in the world that I live in. They are so small in comparison to what really I should be focusing on. And I know that, but when you're in the moment, and just like in depression, when you make a decision to hurt yourself or not, I've never really put myself, other than as a very young child, trying to jump off a balcony. But those attempts of being physical to myself, to hurt myself, thankfully have not been a reality check for me. So I haven't had to have those splashes of reality or seeking any help of that sort. But I have sought help in the fact that I know that my body can get off balance with too much stress and too much anxiety. Sometimes it's financial, and sometimes it's just social. Sometimes it's even, I would say, empathically. Sometimes I feel things that don't feel right, and they start to build. So it's some of you out there will say, oh, well, you're the secret, you're manifesting all these things. Shut the fuck up. That's your own personal opinion, and keep it to yourself. That's the way I believe in secret, but I will say very clearly that that's just a process of thinking and being. So there's no different than being kind and kill people with kindness and do unto others you'd like them to do. That's the way I live. There's all kinds of ways of living and being. But when it comes to depression and anxiety, there's no flipping the switch when you are dealing with things. It's a progression of getting better. When you can't get to a level of getting better, which I've dealt since a child, there is definitely a level of needing help, seeking an alternative. My problem has been basically seeking insurance-wise. Thank you, insurance companies. You know who you are. Unfortunately, because of the insurance company monopoly we deal with in America and all of their fucked up ways of processing things, there's not enough doctors offering insurance coverage like me. So I can't go see a psychiatrist who I could speak to and be prescribed medication if necessary. So I had to rely on my primary to get the right medications because I knew that I was at the tipping point, either a nervous breakdown or frustration beyond belief. So with all that being said, I was told from many, many, many offices that it would have been a 4-month wait to be seen by any psychiatrist. Now, you could see a counselor, but that's no different than me being here on YouTube. And the reality is, I've dealt with counselors so much so that it's like, I don't know why I'm here, you know? So with anxiety, it's so much of you need to understand the way you think, which is the why I am so introspective and can do these lovely vlogs, is that I think and process so much. I deal and I fight or flight so much that my brain, once I come to you guys, I have dealt, processed, and am ready to share what I feel normal and is me. It's very hard to understand if you don't deal with anxiety or know yourself and have sought help when it comes to that. I myself have been seeing counselors since I was basically 5 years old. So with that being said, there's a lot that you learn about yourself because you're seeking help. You learn coping skills, and those are good things. Those are things you should always seek if you're in a self-harming or in a very low point in your life. It's not a bad thing to seek help. But when it comes to having physical problems like myself, the alternatives when you're dealing with an insurance company playing you is going to a primary and saying, I'm at the end of my rope, figure it out for me, or I'm going to figure out how to walk into the street. That literally has been the thought process. Not that I'm saying I'm going to do that, but I'm saying, what is the point when you get no help? What is the point when you're hurting constantly? What is the point if you have nothing to be excited about waking up to? So all of that being said, it's very important to understand that when you are in the psyche of a person who deals with anxiety, or a person who deals with depression, a person who deals with pain, it's like a given they're going to feel these things, because your body is responding just as much as if you were to hit your knee walking into the side of a door frame. It hurts because something's wrong, something has wounded it. If your mind is off balance, of course you're going to respond in a way that is unbalanced. So I feel like it's so important for us to really take charge of who we are. And if you're in a position, it's so hard to say to a person who has anxiety or depression, go and seek help. But the fact of the matter is, if you know you're not who you are deep down, you should seek help. And if you are feeling like you need to breathe better, then it's not a problem to seek help. So this whole retrospect with Robin Williams has just been really heartbreaking, because I feel like he did seek help. He did do everything he possibly could. He was recently in a sitcom. He has been doing the normal Robin Williams spiel for so long that I feel like if your normal is so abnormal and it's just continuum, it's bad. It's bad. And if nobody can even smell the possibility of a suicide, potentially, within 24 hours of it happening, it's sad. It's really heartbreaking. It blows my mind, and it's surreal to me. It was so hard for me to post the vlog yesterday, because the reality is my day changed so much yesterday. After I was chit-chatting with you guys and had worked on the blog for a little while, I finally got it to render, and then, amazingly, I see the thing about Robin Williams, and I'm hurting. I'm devastated. I'm not able to cry, but I'm just so like, there's got to be, if the gates of heaven exist, if heaven exists, or if a universe exists where people walk into, and there is a uniqueness about our spirits that stay with us, and that spirit is a bubble of orb of energy, whatever you want to say, that, beyond our comprehension and understanding. I truthfully believe this. Then I hope and pray that once his energy did make it into that different dimension we live in, heaven, whatever you want to call it, I hope that there was an overjoy of laughter and happiness, because all I can say is that it's just been so mind-blowing in the last 24 hours, that me being such a sick person and understanding that what I'm sharing with you guys is a progression of who I am, and also realizing that many people out there are dealing with what Robin Williams was dealing with, and there's so very little that I guess people could do. He'd done so much for even himself. Only a month ago, being in a rehabilitation. I mean, if you really are just at that point, how is anybody supposed to help you, or even you supposed to help yourself? If you are really at that point and comfortable with going to the end, finding that end, how could anybody stop him? And what they're saying is that he went from another room at a certain point in the evening. It's just so heartbreaking. So I wanted to really pour my heart out about all of this, because I just feel like it needs to be said, and this is the way that I feel. He was probably my #1 favorite actor, #1 favorite male actor and comedian. Absolutely. There is nobody else I can think of funnier and more able to take on many roles but look himself, yet not look himself, yet have the voice, yet not have his voice, be in so many characters, yet hold that spirit of just joy and silliness and crude silliness, it's really hard to digest. So I can't say it enough. If you know anybody who you think might be suicidal, don't wait. Reach out, because, I mean, really honestly, just give them a hug. If that changes the way they want to live and be. If you can't change them, don't also blame yourself. I mean, that's the best way to look. Because I keep thinking, I mean, his wife, his kids, I'm sure they're all very, very aware of his constant struggle. So it's just like this battle, it's intense. But yeah, I actually went ahead and rescheduled all my appointments, including the nerve block that's for tomorrow, because everything was overbooked. I had 3 appointments yesterday that I realized were overbooked. So there were 3 appointments that would have been on the 13th, so that would have been bad. An eye doctor, a dentist, and a nerve block. Bad. Plus, I don't even have enough gas for that, so no. So, yes, everything's going to be done in a couple of days. Hopefully new things will be posted on eBay and things like that, if I can even get any energy to do that. If not, in the rest of the month, that's when I plan to do that, and continue to post as many vlogs as I can with you guys, doing the best I can. And, yeah, And when it really comes down to it, he was very sad deep down, obviously. And it's just very heartbreaking to see that. You know, there have been criticism, there has been negativity. I've even seen people mention that he committed suicide so he won't go to heaven. Are you kidding me? That's just nuttiness. The things that have been said in retrospect to what the situation stands, where he was dealing with a long history of substance abuse and depression, it's really difficult, very difficult to say that this person didn't not seek help. Apparently, from what they were saying recently on the news, our local news, because I live in Los Angeles, they were saying that he had been checked into a rehab facility or a substance abuse facility or something like that. They focus on substance abuse, which I find interesting because I also didn't realize that he had had that much of a problem drinking, but I didn't know he had a history of it. I just didn't know it was so current. And apparently as of a year ago, he just started drinking again after being clean for 20 years. So that right there explains so much about the addiction of alcohol versus cannabis. I hate to say it, but it's like such a heartbreaking situation to hear how long this man was struggling. And I have substance abuse in my family with alcoholism, and I can say myself, if my liver disease wasn't existing, I definitely would have a substance abuse, because Jesus, it's so nice to just have a relaxing drink. But when you can't do that, it's just stupidity in its own. No. No, I don't live in New Orleans for a reason. So this has been pretty devastating for me, because as a little girl, when I first came to Los Angeles and first ever had experience with the Walk of Fame, I can remember being under 13 years old, like 11 or 12 years old, and having complete infatuation with Robin Williams and Ellen DeGeneres and Tim Allen, you know, just Whoopi Goldberg, from their own history as being a child of the 80s and the 90s. You know, these are the people that made us laugh. Mork and Mindy was something I grew up with, for sure. My mother was a huge fan, and so was my father. I remember growing up with Nick at Night, like nobody's business. Now TV Land and all that other fun stuff. It used to be Nick at Night, and I would watch it around the clock. So I can remember TV Land even had Mork and Mindy reruns, even growing up as a young adult, like literally before middle school, I can remember. So it blew my mind yesterday when I thought, you just don't know how much people can struggle independently in their own private life with whatever it is, mental illness, physical, whatever it may be. It's just, obviously he did speak a lot about his abuse and whatnot, but it's just so frustrating, because I think there's just, sometimes I guess there's just nothing you can do. You can want to help, but there's nothing you can do, because I just keep thinking, he obviously sought professional help, not just once, more than once, plenty of times, spending, you know, big amounts of his life focused on getting better or having some kind of quality of life. It's frustrating, because it's such a sad place on my heart, where it's like, you know, how do I put this? There's no way else to say this. As a child of a mother who had died of breast cancer, it felt like a battle you lost. And when it comes to mental illness, it's no different. You lose that battle when that person decides to kill themselves. My anxiety, I suffer with it a lot, and so I need to be more honest with you guys about it. I can honestly get on here and say, I'm having a really anxious day. I need to start doing that. Because I do have really fucked up anxious days where I'm just like, I don't even know what I'm saying. I don't even know what I'm feeling. I'm just here. So, a lot of my comedy and my dry humor or wittiness comes from the comedy that I grew up with, which was Nanu. Mork and Mindy and Mrs. Doubtfire. If it wasn't for Mrs. Doubtfire, I wouldn't have wanted to be an interior designer. I watched that movie and became infatuated with the fact the mom was an interior designer. There was no real footage on it. It was just that's when I first became introduced by what people could do to a home. So there's a lot of things in my life that were definitely inspired by Robin Williams. So it's like, blowing my brain that this is actually real. You know, this is not a nightmare. It feels like one. And I'm sure for a lot of people that loved him and cared about him and were very close to him, this has got to be a nightmare. But I really do hope and pray that if a soul actually exists beyond the body, that it is at rest, because his soul was quite beautiful and touched so many people. And I just really want to reiterate that I really respect how much he gave in this world. It's probably not the last time I'll ever speak of Robin Williams, because he definitely is a huge influence of the way that I have looked at life. Is you just sometimes have to scream out loud and be silly and laugh at yourself, even if you trip up. So, cheers. To Robin Williams. Funniest comedian I think in my lifetimes existed. He couldn't not enter a room and make you laugh. What kind of people have that kind of power? It kind of actually killed me too after I found out he had passed away, that I really wish I had met him. It really is devastating I never got to meet him. Just to even to have gone to a show, you know, so. So basically, I moved all my doctor's appointments to September so that the rest of August can be focused on a staycation. Where I'm relaxing and regrouping, and because I have this pain patch now that's non-narcotic, that's actually helped a little bit today, enough that it was noticeable. I was able to get a few things sorted around my house, which felt really great. I got some speakers set up again. I set the mirror up on this lovely camera, and I feel so comfortable vlogging on it now. Hopefully it'll be in frame and I won't be fuzzy, but this is the best it's going to get. So, we'll see what happens. And I have a new light behind you guys. Oop, phone call. Okie dokie, I've returned. Yeah, so basically, I will definitely be doing more vlogs very soon. It's just getting my life back into normalcy. I am going to continue the antidepressant just for a short time. Luckily, I've had good rapport with my doctors in retrospect to taking the antidepressant and all the other medications they have me on right now. Luckily, they're not going to make me take the stomach medication, as I will describe in more detail in this video. It's going to be a long one, probably 2 parts, probably. Maybe 3, hopefully not 4. Anyway, YouTube's been having some upload issues too, so that's also been real fun to deal with. So you guys just have to be really patient with the vlogs going up slowly. But I do appreciate all the new subscribers. I see my numbers are going up like crazy. I'm like, well, hello, I haven't even posted anything. Thanks. Thanks for being so kind and clicking the subscribe button. And definitely sharing it with your friends and liking the videos. Thank you very much. It's free for you and it helps me. Some YouTubers have been saying that, and I'm like, well, okay, fine. I'll say it. Anyway, cheese. Alright, one last little toke. I think we're cashed on this one. Are we really? We are! So damn it, I'm gonna have to pack another bowl. I'm not gonna do a bong hit, even though you guys are probably like, what? Yeah, I'm not in the mood, people. I'm not in the mood. I just don't find it even works the same way. Like, I will do bong hits. When it comes to medicating, I will vaporize. It seems like I have to keep both pens totally charged constantly, though. And once they are, it's beautiful. And the other thing I was screwing up is I had them in a strip charging, in a power strip. When that was fucking it up, it was taking forever. I put it on the wall. It's done like in an hour. I was like, well, fuck. That's the problem. So, and I am smoking on some Skittles. you guys were wondering. There's definitely some more video footage that will be shown in another video. You guys will see. If not another day. But let's go ahead and toke. Connect. So this is the last toke of my lovely vlog today. I hope you guys enjoyed my in-depth, deep. Hope it wasn't too somber. Appreciate all the comments and the likes, subscriptions, and your input upon this video, relating to this video.